and welcome to the Priggya Arora Show, where we promote entrepreneurship and alternate career paths in law through conversations with people who have been there and done that. My name is Priggya Arora, founder of PA Legal, an intellectual property law firm in India. And today we have very talented and beautiful Honey Pamnani with us. She has represented India on global platform. She's also a Young India fellow, and I am so proud of her, and I am also proud that I know her personally. So thank you so much, Honey, for being our guest on the show. And I'll just hand over the mic to you so that you can introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much, Priggya. Thank you very much for the kind introduction and for having me on your platform. Lovely to interact with young professionals through this medium, and I would like to congratulate you for kind of coming up with this very interesting concept. So just like a little brief about myself. I come from a multidisciplinary background. So after engineering, I did law, and then I went for a degree in liberal arts with Ashoka University. So because of my choices in my career, as in professionally and academically, I'm kind of a hustler, a relentless person. And that kind of is evident, like I said, also because I keep trying myself into various different side hustles, because I spot a great opportunity to learn something from each of those experiences. And another thing is that I believe and I feel that I'm an artist at heart. I like to express myself through writing, through singing, music, and through dancing. And these all different forms of art just make me happy, make me feel more alive. So these are very important to me post work. And another kind of thing which is very, very integral to me and very important to me is my humanitarian bent of mine and spiritual exploring side. I like to, observe and always thinking about, complex challenges that women face in our society, and always, trying to find out a way to enable them for a dignified living. That is something which is quite close to my heart. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Like to don multiple hats, and great to be here on this platform and to interact with many more young professionals.
Great, Honey. So, knowing you personally so well and just hearing about you have interest in music, art, law, skill development, and various diversified fields, how do you manage everything, and how do you manage your side hustles along with your regular thing of skill development, and you're just excelling at everything you do? So how do you manage to do that?
Actually, the idea is to excel. I'm not really excelling. I want to reach that level where I do. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy the journey equally than, reaching the destination. And I'm able to, manage this because I do it with my full dedication, full honesty. And when you love something, when you love doing, maybe if it is a side hustle or your job, that work also becomes something like you're playing, or you're really enjoying that activity, so it doesn't add to burden. So I don't mind going an extra mile for things that make me happy, and also that they give you motivation to keep going in life, because things don't happen as per our preferences, and I believe that we are defined by our choices and not by our circumstances. So whatever circumstances may be there, we just have to find a way to keep the hustling going. I mean, to carry forward the hustling and to keep going.
Great. So I really get from the conversation that, sometimes journey is more important than the destination. People feel that if I achieve probably 1 crore, I'll be happy. If I achieve 10 lakhs, I'll be happy. Or if I have 100,000 followers, I'll be happy. But if we are happy now and we are happy in whatever we're doing, like having this conversation and being happy in itself is is something to feel, have a gratitude about. So I think that's so amazing. So
absolutely, I believe that happiness is a state of mind, and you have to choose it now. You can't postpone it for future. So yeah, that's something which always makes me find something that I'm grateful for, even in the toughest of the circumstances.
beautiful, beautiful. So now only coming back to law, because we are a legal podcast. So I'll get to a question that how legal education helped you in all your diversified fields, and specifically in policy making and whatever field you're working in.
So in fact, this is very interesting question. A lot of people ask me in my current profession also, I mean, what made you to as in choose this career over a regular career in law? I feel that law is such an interesting field. It's an offshoot, in every profession, every field that one goes for. It always gives you an additional perspective. And particularly, I started my career as a lawyer. I worked as a lawyer for a couple of years, and then I moved to business side. So I understand the dynamics of both business and legal side well, and I think over the years I'm able to appreciate it even more because it helps me in decision making. It helps me understand different perspectives and appreciate the nuances that they offer. When you talk about practical skills that law gives you, phenomenally, everything that comes under 21st century skills is covered under law education. So it equips you with logical reasoning, with good oral and written communication. Your arguments get better, your presentation gets better, it gets more, because it's always kind of backed up by evidences. So I think that way law kind of equips you and prepares you not just for a career but for life. It's a degree which gives you a lot of empowerment because you understand about the society, about your surroundings in a better way. You understand law. So I think it's a great profession that way. I think even if I would not have decided to get into law, I always thought as an engineer that I would love to study law at some point of time.
Yeah, and it's about awareness as well. Like, I think sometimes we can just help people because we know something. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So now coming to, as you currently work for National Skill Development Corporation, so can you tell us what kind of work you do there and how do you help people?
Sure. National Skill Development Corporation is a public-private partnership between Government of India and industry associations. It's kind of a startup of government, wherein where we are not just the nodal agency for all skill development related activities in the country, but we are also experimenting a lot in terms of economic models that can have wider impact for people. So basically, as we understand that India is at a juncture where the rich demographic dividend is an asset to us, but at the same time, the bigger challenge is to have a skilled workforce and have these people employable. Otherwise, this dividend will become a major problem. So the kind of models that we are coming up with in terms of maybe impact investing or making new policies and finding out new ways for effective implementation, all of these things are kind of have the same agenda, which is to make our youth more employable, providing them the right linkages for jobs which are also not just like making them employable but are paying them well as well. So law has a great application here because when we make policy, when we kind of implement any government level scheme, we have to understand the implications of that policy and understand it from the perspective of law. So that is something where there's an indirect application of law in public policy career. And impact investment in also has certain aspects wherein we have to understand how the outcome based models will work in India. Just to give you an example, NSDC recently launched India's first skill impact bond, which is about we would be making this pilot with several other global partners, wherein the student has to pay nothing. The training partners, the training delivery partners basically have been given certain targets and they will be paid once those targets are met. So skilling has no, no meaning if there is no employment at the end of it. So they have to ensure that the student gets a better employment. They get that kind of training, that kind of, equips them for that. And at the same time, they are able to, being able to survive in that job. So it's not just like about placement kar diya and just like your job gets over there. So we want to make, the ecosystem more accountable, because we are an ecosystem enabler. We do not own, these institutions or these platforms. We kind of bring them all together. We kind of create that, ecosystem which is working in favor of all these stakeholders.
Great. I think, in our education system, we have this thread which is missing, that education and employability, they are not going hand in hand somehow. So I think it's a great development in the field that we are working on actually making people employable. Employable means, employable means people will be able to work. They can enter into entrepreneurship as well because they know the skills. But I think somewhere,
In fact, I would just like to add on to this that the new education policy, it kind of tries to marry skill with education.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are coming to that direction where, we're realizing the importance of skilling being kind of associated with education at a very basic level, from school level.
Yes. I know, because I had been in conversation with some people from Delhi, and even third class kids, fourth class kids, they are now learning about entrepreneurship, learning about how can they become employable at a very early stage. And at our times, I don't think we had that kind of education. So I think reforms are taking place at a good pace in India, and I hope for a better future.
Yeah, and you would not believe that, Prigya, 90% of Indians don't get proper formal education. So imagine, what kind of future lies ahead for them if they do not get into mainstream jobs. And and 12 million people into the workforce every year. So, how do you kind of, exhaust all these people? These are very big challenges. And we are more committed towards, providing those bridge, courses, or, some sort of upskilling, which could, get them onto a career, on a mainstream career, and helps them to find a, food for themselves.
Excellent. So now, Anika, coming to your, I know it's a side hustle, but it's a big one. Being your journey as a beauty pageant and winning a title of Beauty with a Purpose. How was your journey? What you learned? What was your message? And how did you won that title? I am very excited to know this, and I think I've asked this before, but I want my audience to know this now.
Actually, this kind of happened accidentally. It was something I was manifesting for so many years, and the opportunity came in front of me, and I wanted to try it because the focus was always on career and education. I had never tried something of this sort, but it always fascinated me to, as in you're walking that ramp and, feeling that moment of wearing a crown. And I wanted to just experience it also from the sense that the competition not just gives you a challenge in terms of these aspects about your walk, about your personality, but it's all about your entire persona. It's about how you speak, how you talk, how you walk, how you kind of answer spontaneously to questions, as in kind of posed on you on a stage when so many people are watching you. And at the same time, this particularly competition was also about showcasing the work that I'm doing for women in social space. So it in a way gave me that platform, that visibility to showcase my work, to get more funders. So in 1.5 months, I raised some 1.5 lakhs for a project that I was running for urban poor women, and I got a special mention for that. So I think, and later after the pageant, I could use that recognition for helping them further. So the idea was to, push myself beyond that regular career, regular journey that I was having, to figure out how, how far I can go there, how well I can perform there. And at the same time, with my personality development, I am also able to help, people in a better way, because I'm getting onto a national platform. So it was an enriching experience. And meeting, candidates from all different walks of life was also, something that I would cherish for life.
Great, great, great. You must not be knowing this, but we have many mutual friends, and I always ask, how do you know Honey? And they say, oh, we met her in Harvard. Oh, we met her here. Oh, we met her there. Oh my God, Honey is everywhere.
I mean, it's just that I like to don multiple hats. I'm not able to, kind of define myself with one identity. I associate most with the word relentless. So I'm always up to something. This is just, my way of motivating myself and like pushing myself to do better, to experiment and to figure out how far I can go in life.
Great, great, Honey. And how did this music channel thing happen? And what about your new interest in music?
So music is something which is very close to my heart. I always liked singing, but never thought of taking it on a professional level. But I mean, from last 2 months, I just experimented by starting my YouTube channel called Spiritual Vocalist. And the idea of this channel is, to through some soulful music, inculcating hope, healing wounds, and spreading some love. So the idea is to sing songs which kind of make you feel inspired, make you feel calmer than your present state. So I'm experimenting a lot. I'm experimenting with Sufi, with some of the rock bands from 90s era when I grew up, which were kind of close to my heart, and some spiritual element to it. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel to stay updated, and there's a lot more interesting things coming up.
Like I told, I love, looking at your spiritual journey, and the name in itself is so soothing. So, spiritual vocalist. Yeah. Great, great, great. So I know, Honey, you are a go-getter, but still you must have experienced with many ups and downs in life. So would you like to share some of your uh, incidences, your learnings from those incidences, or anything about how do you manage your ups and downs?
That's actually a interesting question. We all have our share of difficult experiences, ups and downs in life. This is also a part of life, inevitable part of life that we can't avoid. Personally, for me, last year has been extremely difficult. I had to go through some very, very tough time in my personal life. I'm still struggling with a lot of challenges in life, which particularly are kind of bother me at times a lot. But that one thing which has kind of changed my life is the spiritual path that I got onto. And I happened to read Bhagavad Gita during the lockdown, and I can't emphasize enough what impact it had on me. It kind of changed my outlook towards life, outlook towards situations, circumstances. My effort now are always, to become a true karma yogi, who always, focuses on actions and leave the result on the one sitting there and running the world. I realized that life cannot be planned always, and things will not happen as per our whims and wishes. But we have to learn, accepting those as part of life. Change is an inevitable truth, and it kind of discomforts when we resist it. So I happen to actually realize a very beautiful thing in one of my meditations. And it was that one of the biggest fears that all of us face is fear of the unknown, that uncertainty that lies ahead of us, because right now we're in a situation which is very chaotic, very problematic. But I've realized that uncertainty is also kind of probability, So probability means equal chances. It could also lead us to a better opportunity, to a more positive outcome in life. It is at least better than your current situation. So why are you so afraid to, accept and embrace uncertainty with full faith, and then let universe, do its magic? So I think that has the kind of, philosophy that Gita tries to, inculcate. If we really, start kind of implementing in it life, it can, make a hell lot of difference.
Correct. So, Honey, through this conversation, I remembered one thing. I think when the pandemic started and everybody was living an uncertain life. At that point, I don't know whether I read it in some book or I heard it somewhere, but that quote remains in my mind every time now as well. And it was just one line: "Uncertainty is the only certain thing in life." And after realizing this, I think I live every day of my life as tomorrow is uncertain. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Even if it is a pandemic, it is not a pandemic, still I don't know what will happen tomorrow. So if that is the case, then why not be happy today? What we are doing is probably the best thing we can do
Yeah,
today.
and we all saw deaths so closely during the second wave, especially. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people lost their dear ones. It was very difficult time for so many people. So,
Yes.
and that is also, another example how, short-lived or uncertain life is. So
Yeah.
we have to live in the moment. We have to learn living in the moment to make most of it.
I know it's difficult, but still we have to learn and probably smile every day, be happy
Yeah,
every
because
day.
there's a quote in Bhagavad Gita that your mind is your biggest friend, your mind is your biggest enemy. It is
Yeah.
how we kind of train it. So it's a difficult process to train it also, because unlearning is a difficult thing. We were not taught in a certain way how to live life. We were always into grades, into getting better marks, clearing exams. Nobody told us about the social skills, and these kind of real challenges in life start only after college.
Yeah.
So that is the time, if we can have a kind of a direction that ancient texts like these give us, we could actually channelize our energies towards where it matters.
Beautiful, beautiful, Honey. And because I know a lot of legal entrepreneurs watch this show. I just want to state something which I just got from this conversation. I think life skills are much important than the skills we learn in our college, because my daily hustles and my daily problems are how to speak to people, how to address 100 people, 200,000. I don't know. In one of the webinar, there were 1,000 people. So I was like, nobody tells us how to manage people, how to speak to people,
How
how
to
to
deal with challenges
socialize.
that we have in day-to-day life.
Correct. How to manage finances, how to manage teams, how to build teams, how to network, how to deal with parents, how to deal with heartbreaks. I think a lot more life skills are, are daily problems. So I think if we focus more on that, that would be also a good learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And howsoever grim circumstances may be, I think there's always something to be grateful for. It's just a matter of time when we are able to pick that thing even out of that grimace of the situation. That what is that thing that we are grateful for? So I'm sure that gives a big enough purpose to move forward in life.
Great, great, great. Again, I just remembered something. So I read it in a book that whenever, there is a chain of negative thoughts. So if a first negative thought begins, the chain will begin. So if you have first thought and you can just curb it with gratitude or appreciation or something like that, the future negative, the chain of negative thought just breaks, and then you can be happy again. So if
Yeah,
you just need to break the first negative thought to be
yeah,
happy.
because thought by thought, we kind of build our destiny.
Correct.
So we have to be very careful about what we are thinking about constantly. Kind of never starts manifesting that.
I just love having these spiritual conversations with you, and yeah. I hope that people get to our Instagram and see our older Rishikesh photograph where we went on a spiritual journey together. Thank you so much, Honey. And just to conclude, I'll ask you to give key takeaways to young lawyers, young entrepreneurs, and people who can learn from you.
I think I would not give any advice specific to career in law, because I'm sure all the viewers watching this are great lawyers or great lawyers in making. I'm sure with their, hard work and their good technical skills, they will make a mark in their careers. But there are certain, important learnings that I would like to share. One is that always count your blessings. Like I emphasized it in my just a minute ago also. There's always something to be grateful for, and 90% of Indians don't get that kind of formal education that you are being gifted with, the kind of privileges you are gifted with. So never kind of belittle them by saying कि मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों है लाइफ में, मेरी लाइफ में problems हैं. Everybody is struggling at their end. So learn to empathize with others. One advice that I would want to give especially to young women entrepreneurs or young women legal professionals is that you always have to hold your integrity and your self-esteem in a very high regard. Learn to say no affirmatively, and always carry courage and confidence as two virtues that you always have with you. They'll always help you in every situation you find yourself stuck in. There's one other message is that if you're stuck in a situation in life, find out ways to take action on it and to get out of that problem rather than over analyzing and kind of wasting time in further kind of being in that situation. You have to move forward. You have to cut that toxicity, and life is very precious, very beautiful. Don't let it go waste in negativity. Always try to help others, because that also gives you a lot of happiness when you are able to enable somebody else's dream. So always find a purpose that keeps you going, and that higher purpose will always give you direction in life.
Great. I'll just reiterate few points. Count your blessing, have empathy, be confident, be courageous, and live a life of contribution. Have a purpose, spread your purpose, and contribute in others' life. Beautiful.
And just one last point I would like to add: believe in yourself. Don't complain or compare your life with others. Believe in that unique journey that has been carved for you.
Wow. Believe in yourself. Don't compare. Don't have a competition. Let's live a life of cooperation and create things together.
Really summarize it better.
Thank you so much, Honey, for being on the show. And I'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey there. Thank you for attending today's session. If you enjoyed today's session, do follow our channel and consider sharing it with a friend. My name is Priggya Arora, daughter of inspiring parents, alumna of IIT Kharagpur, engineer turned lawyer and entrepreneur, and now founder of PL Legal, where we help creators and innovators protect their intellectual property. Thank you.